Hey, what's up, legends? I'm so excited that you are here on my brand new YouTube live stream for the 30 Days of Bible Lettering series. I'm so excited to start this series again, and actually, it's officially starting tomorrow on April 1st. And no, it's not a joke. I'm not starting this day before just to make that not a joke. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm starting today because I want to help you guys to actually start this challenge as well. So if you are interested in following this challenge, then you can do it with me and do it live here on YouTube. So I will be trying to do as many live streams as possible. Now 30 days is long and this is challenging, but every challenge that I've made and I've gone through from the beginning to the end has helped me tremendously. Now the reason why I want to do live streams is because I know that I'm more focused while I do these live streams. I can do a lot more than that. So that's why I want to do it here on YouTube live stream and do it live here. Now, the thing is, the first thing that I do or have been doing every morning since I started this year is that I actually went into the office and started drawing. So the first thing of the day that I do is drawing. Now, right now it's 4 p.m. in the afternoon here in Zurich, Switzerland, where I am at, where my studio is at. And that is a little bit more difficult to do it in the evening. So it kind of like, I have to wait and kind of focus all of my other rest of the day to that moment. So I like to do that in the first thing in the morning. So that's why as of tomorrow, I will be starting out earlier and do the live streams earlier. So perhaps you won't be able to watch this live stream. I hope you will. I hope that you can, but you can always watch it later on. So I'll leave these on, and I've already started preparing for these days because good preparation is really key to doing some good work. So I hope that you are ready. I can't wait. I see all the people in the chat already. For example, Jonathan, Kiara, Lindo, Soraj, and Manuela. So all these people are here. Just missing. Supernova is here as well. Awesome. You guys are epic. Maybe perhaps we'll even do some Zoom streams. I have never done that before, but I am excited. And let's look at what the verse is for today. So today's verse is Isaiah, and I just need to look that up. It's Isaiah 41 verse 10, and it says, "Do not fear, for I am with you." Now that's an awesome verse, and let's have a look at how we do that just today. All right. So I have here my sketchbook. I've already started to sketch in some things, and you can see my sketches are super small, and I've already prepared that here, and I'm really excited. Now, what this will look like, it's kind of gonna look like something in this shape and size, like this Make It Happen today is going to be this box layout with different boxes for every single word, and you can do that in different colors. You can even use different kind of papers. You don't have to use just white paper. You can use black paper, these brown paper. You can even use cardboard or anything that you like. And I have already prepared this darker sheet here, and I'm gonna be using some different colors. So as you can see, this whole thing is already placed right, and the whole setup is already set up for this challenge. Now I'm gonna be showing you how I lay out this whole thing before I start doing that and sketching it out, and I'm gonna be using here just this white paper so you guys can see that all really well. So here I have my white piece of paper, and the one thing that I will do is, as you can see, I have the dimension of the box, and I kind of will lay out here a middle line just to help me do that. If you want to, you can also use a triangle here. This one will really help. You also have these parallel lines, so this can also help as well. And you can find just out this super line in the middle. Always good to do that. Then next thing is I'm going to draw out these other side. And usually I'm less nervous when I do this. And that's weird. But anyway, whoops. This is the wrong button. There we go. Here we go. I've just pressed a black key on top of the image. So here, I've split that up, so now I know where the middle is. I place just a top box here, maybe somewhere down, and you see all I do first is to really place all the boxes. Then I will place here, this is where the do comes in, so I've chosen to make the do here in more of a script style, a little bit slanted. So here I'm adding all these guidelines, and when I sketch out really well, I won't necessarily use to draw something so heavily on. So usually keep it light. And then here I have the knot. So this is where I want to place it in. I want to also make a box that like springs out. And so I'll place the knot inside here. And you can draw just like boxes inside. So this is where the grid builder would come in handy if you use the iPad. I'm using paper for this one. So here the knot, and you will see why I haven't drawn in anything down here. And then I will create this 3D box. So this is one thing that I'll be showing in my 3D lettering bootcamp that is coming up. But here I've laid out all these words. Now I'll figure out where the middle is by drawing a cross. Place this inside here, and then we'll just draw out a F for the first letter, an E here for the second, then the A that will come in between. Might even make these smaller, and then the R that will come inside here. And so there we go. I have the fear ready, and I'm going really quick, I know, but you guys will be able to follow along again later on. This is not meant to be just done right in the moment, but you will be able. Maybe I'll change the pace at some point. We'll see how that will turn out. I'm gonna progress my teaching as I go on. So here we have the fear, then for here, that's where I kind of want to insert like an arrow that comes in, like because like fear brings in no for I am, and I'll put the I am in here. Just keep that all simple. And you know, it's all sketched out. And this is then here, the width, I'm gonna change the style of the lettering, just keep that small. And then kind of like mirror the script letter here. Keep that on a slant as the other parts. And I need to get my pencil sharpener. Perfect, done. And all you go. So the next part, and this is going to be the tricky part, is actually figuring out the color. So how do you do the color scheme in this whole thing? So I was thinking to do all the letters in the darker shade, or right now on the brown paper here, or the gray paper here, I'm going to do that differently. And the thing that is difficult is to actually not make these lines overlap. So the more colors you use, the more chances you have of not making them overlap. But then color schemes is super important. So right here, I've used like the white of the paper for some letters. I've used some other shades here and kind of like switch it all around, and also done this here. But here I've used like a teal color or more of a blue greenish, one of my favorite colors actually. The yellow here, but then there's some purple, some red, some lighter colors, some darker purple. So you can see I've used a lot of different colors. This one I like a lot more because it just has a subtle amount of colors. And so I'm gonna be trying to figure this out as I go. So I have sketched all of this just as it is right now on here. I've sketched that actually out onto this paper. So this is where you barely see it, but that's where we're going to start. And let me see if I can find out all of these lines. So I have here, this is a chalk pen that I am going to use. Just making sure that it's already done. So I'm gonna press that on the paper and it looks like it's good. So it's good to go. And I'll see how that will react on this piece of paper. All right, now that we're ready, we're just gonna jump back onto the paper. We're gonna start finalizing this piece. So I'm moving right here at light speed. And the goal of the challenge is not to just spend hours and hours in perfecting everything. Like it's gonna be one of 30 different verses that we're going to draw. Now this is where I would recommend for you as well, if you're doing a 30 days of Bible lettering challenge, is to relax, to meditate, put on some worship music, put on some songs that are like meditative and just calm and good, and then really start into to really play out, to listen to what God is to say. So I'm going to be chilling out a tiny little bit more. Since this is a live stream, I'm still gonna be actively trying to explain all these steps so you can learn as well something new, and then you can do that too. But at the same time, just calm and relax. And if you're watching right now, you can also hit the like button just to help me, like support me. That actually does more than anything else than subscribing or anything. Like liking the video helps me to promote this video out to other people. And so your thumbs up that does a lot. So thank you so much for supporting this channel. And if you want to support more, then I don't know, just liking the video is already enough. Let's go, let's dive into it. So here, I'm going to start off with the very first letter, so the do, and you see already I can tell that this paper is really taking in all the ink, which is a little bit sad, but we'll figure it out as we go. And here I'm just going in and trying to color this in the best way. So as you can tell, I've not really drawn, or I'm not even sure if you can tell, but I've not drawn the outlines of the letter here itself, but I've only drawn in, like I'm drawing in the outlines, the thickness of the letter as I go, as I can tell. But I will be able to go over it all again later on. And I might actually try to use the Posca pen to see if there's a difference between acrylic and just chalk color. And that might be a stupid idea right now to change that in the same word. But yeah, it actually, ooh, it's a massive difference. Stays white right away, which looks amazing. And that way I'm going in for the color. What you probably guys cannot tell right now, I'm sweating. I just came back from a run, and well, I came back from a run a while ago, but still I am sweating. It's one of the warmest days right now has been in a long time. So let's see. All right, I'm going to draw in here these colors, try to switch this all up because it's not touching. And I'm going to try to see if I can figure out this whole not touching anything as I go along, figuring out these colors. So I have no idea right now all the color schemes that I want to be using, which is a little bit freaking me out, but at the same time, like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, I can just learn a lot as I go on, so that's okay. And there we go, putting it all in. And I just go along as I can, trying to find all these elements and color this all in. This is going to be fun to create, especially this layout style is actually a really simple one. Like, you really get a page, divide it into boxes, choose like how big the box needs to be, which word needs to be which word needs to be highlighted, which word doesn't need to be highlighted, and that will help you create an awesome layout. And if you are into anything at all, like drawing, doing that, that is awesome. So here, the challenge really with the 30 Days of Bible Lettering Challenge is to come up with something a little bit fresh every single day. And that for me is always a challenge. I always try to push myself to do something more and more and more. All right, so I got this down, I got that down. Now let's see what is coming up next. So here, the 3D, I'm going to draw in here the 3D element in white. does need a tiny little amount of imagination to be drawing all of these elements here in to a respective color and to figure that out as you go. But this is what the verse is all about, really, right? Well, not necessarily all about, but you don't have to fear. It's all going to be fine, and God is with us all the time. And that's what I love about doing these challenges, really, is I spend time drawing out a Bible verse, and now I've just placed my finger on here, but that's good. We got do not fear. Here we have the word that goes inwards. I'm just going to be drawing the 4. Letters like funky and all like crazy style, but simplicity always helps along to make this really interesting. Now I heard that the music in the background might be a little bit too funky for a Bible lettering, meditative Bible lettering, so we'll change that in tomorrow's. We're going to improve our live streams as well. Like it's a challenge for me to do a live stream pretty much every day, but I'm sure that I will learn a lot doing so, and your feedback is also welcome, and I really appreciate that. So let's see how far we will get, what we can do along the way, and let's see, this one I definitely want to have colored in. I just gotta figure out something to do with the first word. Testing whether or not this has dried up. Looks like it. I'm trying to go again over this do here. Oh, the U hasn't dried up, so I just touched my lower arm. And we're getting there. It's good to press down on that ink here, and this just pulled in a little bit too much ink. And that cool thing is really to adjust your letters as you go. So you can really adjust the width, the thickness of all your letters as you go and create something. So right now we got already one color down, and I think for now that color is set. Let's see what we can add as well to the rest. So now I'm kind of filling in the gaps in between. So usually you probably do it the other way around. That'd definitely be clear, but we can always go around a second time. So now I'm just adding a second color. And what we should not forget is that the background of the paper, because it's not white, is actually a additional color as well. So we can use this grayish paper look as well to draw in here. The thing that makes it really difficult is to make them overlap these boxes. So those boxes are kind of like a guide, but at the same time they're also overlapping just a tiny little bit, right? And so that makes it a little bit more tricky, but not impossible. And we love the challenge. We love to try out new things and to learn about all the additional things. Start adding color, starts to pop out. And now I can think here, adding this darker blue. So dark. Probably doesn't pop out that much on the screen. It doesn't pop out as well out here, but in between blue would have been nice. Now, that mix gives us exactly what I was afraid of. What do we add in between here of the fear? Which now it doesn't work with blue and the brighter blue. We need something darker. So let's see if black actually would work. Ooh, dark black really works. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. But on some level, that's really cool. Added another, color. Now that's a debate, whether black is a color or not. I love wearing black, so I think black is one of my favorite colors to wear, to draw on, like a chalk wall. That is always awesome. But is it a color? Now that is the question that we might need an answer to, that you guys could provide an answer to if you feel like it. Oh, I feel like I went a little bit too low, so I need to adjust here a little bit. So maybe we can add some red or blue inside here. Who knows? Let's see. Let me leave it out now just to see if we can add something else. Here I could add could I add a bright blue? I want to focus on the I am. So right now I'm going to focus on the I am. Therefore I am going to actually do that brighter, because the brighter colors will actually really pull out lettering. Your eye naturally will go to wherever it's brightest, and therefore it's useful to know these kind of rules, how like your brain works, how your brain processes information, how like what your brain is attracted towards, like brighter colors, darker colors, all of that. Darker. Should I go with black? No, I cannot go with black. So I'm just going to go with the dark blue. There, I missed some black. That's okay. I'm just going to take the thicker color here and keep smudging here on paper. This could actually be black, just because there's nothing else going through it. It doesn't touch anything else. So that could actually be a black arrow. So let's go with a black arrow. Now I'm actually not afraid to go over the lettering again, so I can just easily paint all of that black in. Now let's see, it's easy enough to just keep that outlined, so I don't actually have to go over it again. That would save me some paint and time, but sometimes it's just so much faster to just paint over and write those letters in again on top. Also cleaner. But right now it feels it works really well. Do not fear, for I am. Maybe I could draw that in black and leave those out. Let's see what I can do here. So I've used up the whites, can pretty much not touch here unless I shorten down the width, which I can also do. So I could actually shorten down the width or even let it overlap. Let's just let it overlap. Fortunately, that one will stick out. That will need some time to dry. I'd be very curious to see all of your color combination that you would do if you are doing this exact same one. And then you can do it tomorrow, you can do it today. I'll be posting this one tomorrow for day one as well, the challenge. And just trying to keep up with the letterings every day, just to come up with new things every single day. And let's see, here I can add that in darker blue. I think dark blue could work really well. I'm just going to add here some dark blue. And maybe I should just round that. Ooh, I missed some. Bright blue. Beautiful. If you go over a little bit of white, it doesn't matter really much because you can just keep on like redoing the white on top afterwards, especially with those pens. Like using acrylic markers is always really easy to fix. Just takes a little bit more time, but then usually it would go with the colors that are like the base colors. But since I didn't know what I would be using, it wasn't really helpful to start with the base colors and then draw in everything else. Plus, all of your sketching would have been messed up, and that also is not very helpful. But you learn. Like, it's not my first time that I've been doing this, or that I've done this. But I've done already a few of these also on the iPad, so that's where it gets even easier, where you can draw and use a lot of different colors, so that's also fun. But you can see I can just really a little bit faster. You're just going to be a little bit careful. And I'm letting the width on the left here of the U dry, like the white space dry, so that I can use a different color afterwards to draw in the letters. And I feel like the fear could use some blue just to stand out a little bit more. Then, as you can tell, we are losing the element of the background, so we could have used just any background and wouldn't have had to use the gray, but that can also be helpful, just so you know now that you could also use the background as a color, but in this case it would have been nice to have like a more distinct color, one that would stand out a little bit more than the rest. Now, as I do this, as I finish this, one of the things that will start turning in my mind, or like the gears that will start turning in my head, would be like, all right, what do I do after that? Like, what's one thing that I can do to add to make that stand out even more? So for example, I call this my one more step. How to always improve what you've done already and keep on going. Because you always want to push yourself, to really add more to it, really go the extra mile with everything you go. And sometimes it doesn't look like much, and sometimes it looks like a lot. Right now, I'm just trying to see if this was actually the best idea that I've had. I'm starting to doubt that, but that's okay. Actually, I do have some ideas of how to I lost I will have to repaint that in white as soon as it dries up. For now, I'm gonna have to leave it as is. Let me know in the chat below if you are actually participating in this 30 Days of Bible Lettering Challenge, or if you are just watching the stream. Let me know if you guys are participating as well. And yeah, I have one stream planned on the chalk wall. I have different types of paper. I've already prepared a lot of different things. And just let me know what I should focus in more during these live streams, just to improve these live streams a tiny little bit better every single time as well. So you can do that in the comments. The live chat will be monitored, but it's not the best place to actually give in some ideas, unfortunately. But you can. You always can. Let's see, let's paint this one here in black. Not is standing out really well. I like that. Let's see. Do not fear, for I am. That looks all good. And then we have width down here. So I'm just gonna sketch that out first, just so I don't mess up the spacing. All right, now this looks pretty done, and I feel like it looks also pretty cool. Now, I'm just wondering how we can really take that to the next level. So I'm just gonna fix here this little mistake that I made. Maybe also just make this one here a tiny little bit thinner because it looks a lot thicker, and the spacing then is a little bit off, but hey, who is looking in the details? I know you guys are, but that's okay. So I was thinking one would be to add some shadows. So that is still a little bit like a drop shadow. So I'm using a darker color in here to draw in those shadows. But I'm not sure that that actually looks quite right. Let me, the other one would be to add some shadow lines in here, but I'm not sure that that would look quite right too. Let's go for it. Yeah, at some point you just need to commit. I'm still not sure if that was the right thing to commit to. The good thing is I can always put that over here. You barely realize it.
You wear me down. My actions won't be forgiven. When we first met,
Yeah, sometimes you just need to finish the whole thing before you can really tell whether or not it works or not. But right now I feel like it's actually not that bad. Could be worse. Sucking up a lot of things. And here. Alright, I did hear everything that I could see or think of. Oh, there's a little black piece missing here. You can see I can always find something else. And then if you want to, you can also still take, for example, a pencil turned out. Oh yeah, the one more thing. So let's see what we can add here. I think I always want to add some stars and some elements here all around to really make the whole thing shine. We don't really need anything here, but it's still nice to have also some gap fillers. Now you always might wonder, like, how do I know where to place them? Well, I don't. That is the first thing. The second thing is I'm trying to figure out like where it actually would fit the most, and then try to come up and see like here, and a bigger one, another one. Sometimes I'm overdoing it with these, but not always. And because we've used also different colors, I can also go join blue, brighter blues.
Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door.
So that will kind of break up this rigid, squarish look as well.
Promise, I'ma give it to you.
Miss that smile. Lord knows I ain't seen that in a while, but it's your style. So something must be up keeping you down. You a queen that must be heaven sent. Pray my soul, I must repent for not telling you what I meant and how I felt. Honestly, I'm used to throwing wishes in a well. My conscience tells me that I could have helped without fail. Actions speak louder than words, and that's a lesson that I learned all by myself.
Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for it. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you.
Feel it, baby, stress is all
Should we
around us.
finish
These are
here?
ceilings
Should
and
we
our
not?
knees,
Should we
baby,
keep on
pressure
going?
and
I feel
McDonald's,
like we're
I'm still the
at a
baby side,
really good
baby,
place.
hurts
I'm
to
just
see
gonna
you crying, I know you
sign
trying,
this
ain't no
one
lying,
here,
baby.
actually.
When I say I need you, greedy,
that.
if I have to share you, it was me that all along did you wrong, thinking that I made you beautiful and strong. This
And then
toxicity, the death of me,
here,
I feel the day
created,
you gone.
just so I
The
can
most
see,
beautiful
or
girl
anyone who
I've
buys
ever
that
known.
can see
Known.
when it was created. So we turned it from this sketch here all to this. A lot of unknown uncertainties that came along as well, just all the color. But I used here Posca pens. So we have the Posca white pen, acrylic marker. You could use also the same ones from Juice Paint Pilot. Then we have like here different types of blue, 2 shades of blue, a dark blue, a bright blue, a black one as well. So those work really well, but you can use any colors you want. I use a pencil to sketch it out. I use also a white pencil here to sketch out that on a darker piece of paper. And the eraser, sometimes it's also helpful to have like these small triangle rulers around, and you know, just go as you like, draw as you go. So that shows that we are done with this one. So do not fear, for I am with you. Isaiah 41 verse 10. As you can see, we got the whole thing done. Hope that you learned something brand new. And here is also what I, while I was speaking though, thought of this verse. So whenever you are alone, whenever you feel like you are alone, then fear might come up. you might be also overwhelmed with the things that you know that you cannot do yourself. And when you know that God is on your side, that He loves you, then He will be there with you and will help you along the way. Even if you don't feel like it. It's kind of like having a friend that just, like, you want to go by yourself, but he's just tagging you along, just making sure that you're all right. And the word I am has been used often in the Bible with where God shows Himself. And so I am with you says that about Him, saying He is with you here, and we don't have to fear. We don't have to worry. And so I often enough get all cramped up or like have my own worries and doubts of what I am doing and how I'm doing things. And so I hope that this has encouraged you, that you are taking this with you. And let me pray with you just before we leave, so that you guys are blessed and that you guys are encouraged, and that we can start into a new day tomorrow with day number 2 of the 30 days of Bible lettering, which is God is good. It's going to be a piece on paper, or actually in a sketchbook, using just 2 colors, and so that's going to be amazing. So thank you, God, for having us here to allow us to read into your word, that you encourage us with your word. Thank you that you are a good God that wants the best for us, and that through you let us know that we do not have to fear, that we have all that we need, and that you are just giving us everything that we need. So I thank you so much for that, and I can't wait for tomorrow to kind of dive into this topic of you are good. And so I pray that you would bless everyone in this in this chat, in the live stream, and everyone who's watching this later on, so that you would bless them, that they would actually really hear about what you have to think about this verse, and so that this verse will speak to them. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you had a fantastic time, and I can't wait to see you guys again tomorrow. For those who can't do it, I'm going to put up the link, the live stream link, as soon as possible, but I don't know yet when I'm going live, so it's going to be spontaneous, and I hope that as many as people can join, and we're going to do it more chill, but otherwise you can just rewatch the live stream later. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.